Please help me to reach 1,000 subscribers. The message came in while we were passing the salt. My phone buzzed softly against the wood of the dinner table, the screen lighting up between our plates like a small, unwelcome spotlight. I wasn't going to check it, just another work notification probably, but my wife glanced at it first. Just for a second, barely noticeable. Except I noticed everything about her. The way her fork paused halfway to her mouth. The way her shoulders tightened, then forced themselves to relax. The way she smiled at me a beat too late, like she'd forgotten the timing of normal life. Everything okay? I asked. Yeah, she said quickly. Just tired. I nodded, pretending to believe her. We'd been married 8 years. Long enough to recognize the difference between tired and hiding something. I picked up my phone anyway. Unknown number. He doesn't know, does he? For a moment the room felt tilted, like gravity had shifted slightly to the left. I looked up at her. She was chewing slowly, eyes down, focused very carefully on her plate. Spam, I muttered, locking the screen. My voice sounded calm. Too calm. Inside, something small and quiet had started to crack. The doubts didn't arrive all at once. They seeped in the way cold slips through a window you didn't realize was open. Missed calls she couldn't explain. Late meetings that smelled faintly of unfamiliar cologne. Her phone turning face down on the nightstand, something she'd never done before. I told myself I was being paranoid. Work stress. Marriage routines. Life happening the way life does. But suspicion is patient. Once it moves in, it rearranges the furniture of your thoughts. A week later, we hosted dinner with friends. Laughter, wine, music low in the background, the kind of evening that's supposed to prove everything is fine. She was glowing that night, more alive than I'd seen her in months. And not because of me. Across the table sat Daniel, her coworker. Funny, confident, effortlessly comfortable in our home. I watched the way she leaned toward his jokes, the private smiles that disappeared when anyone else looked. Something sharp twisted in my chest. You're staring, she whispered when she passed behind my chair. I'm just watching, I said. Watching what? You. She laughed under her breath. Don't be jealous. The word stung more than it should have. Later, after everyone left and the dishes sat untouched in the sink, the silence between us felt crowded. I'm not jealous, I said finally. She leaned against the counter, arms crossed. You've been acting weird all night. Because something's off. Nothing's off. You and Daniel. She scoffed. Actually scoffed. Wow. Seriously. I felt heat rise in my face. I'm just asking. And I'm answering. You're being jealous. The word again. Sharper this time. Something in me snapped. Not loudly, not dramatically. Just a quiet internal shift. Like a door closing in another room. Fine, I said. I'm jealous. She looked relieved. Like naming it solved everything. I should have stopped there. Should have let the lie live. Instead, I asked the question that had been sitting in my throat for weeks. Is there anything you want to tell me? Her eyes met mine. Steady. Calm. No. The truth arrived 3 nights later. Not through courage or confession, but carelessness. She fell asleep on the couch, phone still in her hand. The screen lit when a message came through. I told myself not to look. I looked. Daniel. I hate pretending I'm just your coworker. My chest tightened so hard it hurt to breathe. I scrolled. Weeks of messages. Plans. Memories. Complaints about me written in the soft language of intimacy. And one line that felt like it erased 8 years of marriage. Dinner with him feels like acting. I sat there in the dim glow of the living room, listening to her quiet breathing, feeling something inside me unravel thread by thread. The strangest part wasn't anger. It was clarity. Morning light filled the kitchen when she found me sitting at the table. You're up early, she said softly. I slid her phone across the wood. She didn't touch it. Didn't ask what I'd seen. Her face just fell. Like she'd been holding a weight too heavy for too long. How long? I asked. She sank into the chair across from me. I didn't mean for it to happen. That's not what I asked. A few months. Each word landed quietly. Permanently. Why? My voice barely sounded human. Tears filled her eyes. I felt invisible. And he saw me. I nodded slowly, because I understood the sentence. I just didn't understand the choice. I loved you, she whispered. Loved. Past tense. Something fragile inside me finally broke all the way. I called jealous people weak once, I said. Turns out jealousy isn't weakness. She looked up confused. It's your heart noticing something's wrong before your mind can accept it. Silence settled between us. Heavy. Final. So what happens now? She asked. I stood, the chair legs scraping softly against the floor. A small ordinary sound marking the end of an ordinary life. I think, I said gently, this is where I stop pretending too. Her tears came faster then. Real. Painful. Too late. I wished in that moment that love alone had been enough to save us. But love without trust is just memory. Picked up my keys. Walked to the door we painted together years ago. The color suddenly unfamiliar. My hand rested on the handle for a long time. Not because I was unsure. Because endings deserve a moment of silence. When I finally stepped outside, the air felt cold and honest against my face. The morning sun rising over a life I didn't recognize yet, but would learn to build again. Behind me a door closed softly. Ahead of me something quieter than hope, but stronger than heartbreak. Self-respect. Was waiting.